And you can start to deepen the breath. Sue Daisy. So all the way down, soles of the feet together, maybe knees out, and rest your hands. Sometimes if that feels too much of a strain and you do have two blocks, you can always block up just underneath each thigh or use cushions. And you're able to then rest there a little bit easier. And just breathe in, feel the chest rise, and then as you breathe out, feel the chest soften and fall. Breathe in, feel the chest rise. Breathe out, let it soften and fall. And if you aren't already, try and breathe in and out through the nose. So you don't have to force the lips closed, you don't have to grip, but just have a soft closing through the lips and let the breath come in and out through the nose. Of course, if that is too much, then at any time do breathe through the mouth. Don't strain to achieve that breath. It does help you calm. It does help the body slow down, has to think about things a little bit more. That simple task. In and out through the nose. And try and pull yourself away from the distractions of today. Maybe anything that you have left to do this evening, things that you're doing tomorrow, and really try your best to be as present as you can for the next hour. Don't force anything, just listen to your body. It will be slightly different every time you come to practice. Just take it nice and easy as you get warm. And maybe you have a more gentle passive practice this evening, or you can challenge yourself and take the more active options. Really try and plug in and feel that strength. So just take your hands to the outside of the thighs, close the gap between the knees and plant the feet to the floor. Rest the arms down by the side. Just one glute bridge to fire up through the backs of the legs. So push down into the feet, roll up through the spine, and really strengthen and engage through the back of the legs. You can push the hands and the shoulders down if that helps you to think about lifting the chest. Just notice as you lift the hips, if you compress into the lower back, if you feel that sensation at all, then really try and tuck the tailbone under, even if it means you go slightly lower in the lift. Maintain a nicer position through the lower back than worrying about the height. From there, as slowly as you can, roll that down. So really do take your time. One level of the spine rolls down to the floor at a time. So it's almost a massage down into the floor. Rest the hips and then bring both knees into the chest, one hand on either knee, and just start to draw circles with the knees. So independent circles, take both knees out so they'll be mirroring one another. And then maybe those circles get bigger, just mobilizing into the hips, especially if you've been sat for a long time today. And then take it the other way. And then maybe you can take one knee in each direction. So find stillness and then one knee in either direction. And then pause in the middle and go the other way. And then pause, cross one leg over the other, rock up to a seat, all the way up, place the hands on the knees, lift the chest, open the chest. And then exhale, arch and round through the spine. Actually touch the chin to the chest. So do actively pull all the way in. Look forwards, lift and open. Exhale, arch and round. Two more, lift and open. Nice and fluid with the movement. Don't think about it too much. Exhale, arch and round. Just get moving. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, arch and round. Pause somewhere between those two movements. Reach both arms up to the sky, so lifting really tall. And then take your right hand down, left arm comes over, big stretch. And just fluid, take it straight to the other side. And go twice more each side. So Not so much worrying about how far you can reach, but can you feel that stretch into the side of the body? And just move through that, swaying side to side. Once more each side, to the right. And bring it back up, take it over to the left. Now stay over to the left, bring the right hand down and stay low, walk the hands out in front of you. So bring it all the way to the front and then take it all the way over to the right. So staying nice and low, should be a bigger stretch through that left side of the lower back. And then walk it low back over to the left. And bring it back over to the right. From that side, you will come all the way up. So to the right and then roll up. Interlace the hands behind the lower back. Open the chest, look up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. One more big breath. And exhale. Come forwards with the hands. Take both hands down. Step the knees back. Pull in through the waist so that you're not tempted to just drop and relax through the center of the body and the core. Pull in and engage. Tuck the toes. Hover the knees off the ground. Holding for 5. Pulling the waist in 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Straight back and up into downward facing dog. And from that downward facing dog, have a good move around. So sway the hips from side to side. Walk on the spot, get rid of any clicks, cracks through the ankles, the knees. Take a big breath. And exhale, let it go. Walk your feet in towards your hands. Still moving quite freely. So kind of wriggling around through the ankles. And then fold the body forwards, drop the weight of the head. Unravel through the spine. So pull in through the waist. Use the support of the waist to help you roll all the way up to standing. Once you come all the way up, sweep the arms up to the sky. Lift and open. So trust yourself to lean back slightly. And then the arms come forwards, chin into chest, almost dive the body forwards. So round the body forwards, bring it down. Hold opposite elbows and sway. So going to move quite freely and light this evening. So also just feel where you need to move and stretch as well. Don't let me just totally dictate your practice. Relax the hands, unravel, roll up. So if you feel like you need to move or stretch a bit deeper or slightly differently, then do so. Open the chest and then bring the hands all the way down. This time, hold on to the backs of the ankles. Can you pull yourself into that fold? Really looking through the shins towards the back of the room. And then place both hands down, step back into downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Forwards to a plank position. Long straight line. So from the backs of the heels through the hips to the shoulders. Right knee, right elbow. And step back. Transfer the weight, keep the torso still. Left knee, left elbow. Take it back. So once more each side, hardly moving the upper body. Just the lower body. Take it back, downward facing. Left leg, high to the sky, big breath in. Whilst the leg is reaching up to the ceiling, rise onto your right tiptoes and then lower your right heel. Right tiptoes, lower the right heel. Once more, right tiptoes, lower the heel and bring the left knee in. Step forwards, rest the back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Continue reaching the arms up and back. Draw a big circle with the arms. So really try and open the front of the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take that circle back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take that circle back. One more lift. And reach back. Then take the hands down to the floor. Tuck the back toes. Lift your right knee, so straighten that right leg and do really engage the right thigh. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. Try and spiral open the chest to the left side of the room. Whilst you're doing that, pull the left knee into the midline. So don't let the left knee fall out so much to the left side. Try and keep it hugging in towards the center of the body. Left hand comes down inside of your left foot. Step back to a plank position. Hold that plank strong. So you really are trying to keep the torso, the upper body still. Right knee, right elbow. Take it back. Left side. Take it back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Right leg high, lift. As you're lifting the right leg, rise to the toes of the left foot and then lower down. Rise to the toes and lower. Last one. And lower. Bring the right knee in and step. Rest the back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Open across the chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Open across the chest. So really do reach that back as far as you can. Go for 2 more. And last one. And then slowly bring both hands down. Back toes tuck, back leg strong. So lift the knee, engage the thigh, and reach your right arm up to the sky. So what I mean is sometimes that right leg has a tendency to fall out. Keep that right thigh in close to the body. Lifting through the right fingertips. Breathing here. Exhale. So use the breath to open. One more. Exhale, bring that right hand down and step back. Plank position. Now just bring your body weight forward. So can you take your shoulders forwards of the wrists and then sway it back. Forwards over the wrists and then sway it back. One more forwards. Sway it back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let the back of the neck be nice and long. Push into the hands to lengthen the arms. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Left leg high. Lift that left leg up to the ceiling. And as you're lifting the left leg, look to the right toes so the back of the neck is nice and long. See if you can lift that left leg a little higher. And then pull the left knee in and step the left foot forwards. Reach the arms up to the sky, high lunge. In that downward facing dog shape, my leg goes really high. I've just overstretched it for a long time, so don't worry if you feel like your foot goes a few feet off the floor, because that's exactly how I felt when I started practice, and I used to see everyone else's leg up in the air and thought, I don't know how that happens, but just over time, constant stretching and opening is what's going to help. And it's also the shoulders as well. It's all linked. So it's not just the hip. Try and go a bit deeper in that right thigh. And then rest the back knee all the way down. Another twist. Take your right arm forwards, left arm back. And as you reach those right fingertips forwards, feel yourself twist a little more. So stretch the fingers forwards, reach the fingers back. Big breath in. And big breath out, back to center, inhale. Hands to the floor, exhale. Step back straight into downward facing this time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take your right leg high. So you're trying to lift it higher than you lifted it before. You're looking to the left toes. And then bring that right knee in. Step your right foot forwards. Try and step silently. Rise up, high lunge. Arms lift. And then you just soften into that back knee. So slowly coming into a deeper stretch through that left thigh without dropping, without forcing. Left arm reaches forwards, right arm stretches back. So open across the arms. Make the wingspan wide. Pull the right fingers back and stretch your left fingers forwards. Breathe in, rise back up. Breathe out, hands down to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. And then rest your knees wide. Point your toes back. Walk your hands back in and let yourself settle in a child's pose, forehead to the ground. So really do drop the shoulders. And if you find that you're reaching the arms forwards and there's space under the elbows, I want you to walk the hands back so that you can rest the elbows and the forearms down. Breathe there. And as you're there, really try and push the breath into your belly. So really find that expansion instead of holding the breath up tight in the chest and the shoulders. Really try and push it down to the belly. And then with that, you're going to feel it push into the thighs. Feel the lower back expand. Breathe nice and deep for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly rise back to all fours. Tuck the toes. Pull the waist in, lift back into downward facing dog. Back of the neck nice and long. Pushing evenly through both hands. And then take your left leg up to the sky. If you like this time, bend the left knee and open the left hip so it faces the left side of the room. As you're doing that, you're trying to lift the kneecap towards the sky. Push both hands down. So tendency is to fall into that right hand. I want you to push both hands down, lengthen both arms. Take a big breath. Exhale, bring that left knee into the chest and step your left foot forward silently. If you can, rise up. Lift the arms to the sky. So still stretching through that back right thigh. Reach the arms back behind you. So really try and take them as far back as you can. Don't just draw a circle for the sake of it. Really try and reach to the end range of your shoulder mobility. So really do challenge and take it back. 2 more, lift up and take it back. Lift up and take it back. Reach the arms up, stay there. And then turn out into your warrior 2. So right toes out, bend into that left knee. Reach the arms wider and then flip both palms and soften the shoulders. So notice, I did that like a bit of sass then, but notice how much you can actually pull the shoulders away from the ears. So you're trying to lengthen that space, like you've got really long dangly earrings on and you don't want them to touch your shoulders. Reach up and back. So you're stretching that left side of the waist. Whilst you're there, so you're keeping the upper body as it is, straighten your left leg. So a reverse triangle. You've got one long line from the left toes through the left hip to the left fingertips. Rebend that left knee. And then bring it forwards, rest the left elbow, right arm up and over. Stretch away through those right fingertips. Bend lower into your left thigh and feel the inner thigh challenge. So push into the feet and then at the same time, try and pull back towards the pelvis. So you're pushing the feet down and then imagine that seam that runs the inside of your trousers. Try and pull up the seam through the trousers. That makes sense. So you're pulling up through the inner leg. And then back to warrior 2. Straighten the left leg, turn the left toes in, slightly softly bend both knees and fold the body forwards. Let the body rest, crown of the head in particular, and then hold opposite elbows and sway. So a good amount of movement from side to side. And that's why you've got the knees bent. So there is a softness. Maybe you bend one a bit deeper and you sway to the other side. So quite a fluid movement. And then find stillness. Reach your hands through your legs, fingertips to the floor, and you're almost trying to pull yourself through that forward fold. So you're reaching your fingertips to what was the left side of the room, and you're trying to pull yourself through. And then slowly unravel. Take your hands to your hips. Heel toe your feet all the way in. So bring them all the way together. And then standing on the left leg, bring the right foot into a low tree. So it doesn't need to be high. Try and pull that right knee out. And then from there, bring the hands into prayer. Lift the arms up to the sky. Take the hands out wide. So like you're holding a beach ball. My hands are cut off, but you know the intention. And then just see if you can wobble around. So kind of wobble side to side, maybe forwards and backwards, and encourage your body to have to stabilize and adjust. So instead of just holding yourself still, can you kind of throw the body weight around a little and let your body work out where it needs to stabilize? And then bring it back to stillness, hands into prayer, heart center. And you've got a low tree, so you can always just rest your foot down if you think you're going to fall. See if you can close the eyes. And notice how hard it is when you take the visuals away. 4, 3. Notice all the work through that left foot for 2. 1. Place your right foot down. Hinge at the hips, fold all the way down to the ground, and just make your way back into downward facing dog. So you're taking your hands to the top of the mat. It's going to look like I'm going the other way, but it's only so I can see you. So you put your hands to the top of the mat, feet to the bottom of your mat, downward facing. Relax the head. Find stillness there. Pull in through the waist. Push down through the hands. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Sweep your right leg high. Lifting that right leg up towards the sky. Bring your right knee in and lightly step, no sound. Rise up, high lunge. Arms up to the ceiling. Soften that back knee. And then really trying to make the circles the biggest you possibly can. Take the arms back. And as you inhale, they come up and forwards. Take the arms back. And as you inhale, they come up and forwards. Take the arms back. And inhale, reach up and forwards, last one. Up and back. Right arm forwards, left arm back, warrior 2. Bend into that right knee. Push down into the feet and then pull back through the thighs. So the idea is I've got this seam here on the inside of my trousers and I'm trying to almost magnetically pull back towards the body. And at the same time, I'm pushing the feet down. Flip both palms and drop both shoulders so you make some space around the ears, and then palms face back down. Just the right palm flips and reverse. So you get that big stretch through the right side of the body. Then whilst you're there, straighten that right leg, reach your right fingers up and back, and then bend the right knee again, coming forwards, right elbow rests, left arm comes up and over. And you're staying here, stretching through those left fingertips. Breathe in, breathe out. At the start of practice, I said that I taught a lot of yoga today. That wasn't a complaint. It's just that I feel every element of my body is stretched, so I don't really know where to start on Thursdays. Reaching away. And then lifting back to warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Bring the toes in and fold the body forward. So just let the body relax down. This time, let your fingertips come to the floor. Inhale, push into the fingertips, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold again. Make the legs active, so lift the thighs. Push down into the fingertips as you inhale, straighten the arms. And as you exhale, fold forwards. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. At the bottom of that fold, bend the knees and roll up to standing. And as you roll up, bring your hands to your hips and wriggle your feet in. So just heel toe all the way in. Push down into the right foot. Bring the left foot into a low tree. So find your balance and then reach the arms up and out. And then maybe just kind of sway the body weight. So you can go forwards, you can go back. And you're kind of throwing off your balance really. So trying to just test yourself instead of just hanging out in the same spot all the time. Bring it back to center. Okay, then hands into prayer and close the eyes. Notice how much work has to go through that right foot when you do so. Can't hold it. Okay, and then place it down. Hinge at the hips, take the hands to the floor, and just take yourself back into downward facing dog. So now find a strong downward facing dog, so a still downward facing dog. A downward dog where you're pulling in through the waist and almost pulling in through the shoulders. So to exaggerate, if you want to take a look, instead of being quite far into the shoulders, I almost want you to be a little bit further out so that you're pulling in here through the chest and the shoulders. So it's really strong. Rest both knees down. And just bring your thumbs together. So my hands are still nice and wide. My fingers are spread on the floor, but my thumbs are just about touching. Now, bend both elbows and lower them down at the same time. And then lift both elbows at the same time. Try to avoid 1, 2. We don't want that. Both elbows, both. Doesn't feel like much at the moment, but it will in a minute. So you're just trying to lift and lower both at the same time, okay? Now, next time the arms are straight and lifted, hold them there, tuck your toes and lift into a downward facing dog, but your thumbs are touching, okay? Look towards the floor, so directly down to the ground, so you're not straining the back of the neck. See if you can lower both elbows. They might only get halfway. Lift both elbows. Lower and lift. They don't have to go all the way. Lower and lift. It's quite strong through the arms. 1 more. Rest both knees. Keep the toes tucked. Walk the hands in. That was my knees. I don't know if you heard that. Didn't sound great. Toes are tucked under, even the little toe. Take your hands to the back of the head and open across the chest. Take a big breath. And exhale. Keep the chest open. 1 more. And exhale. Slowly come forwards. Bring your hands forwards, all fours. Now from that all fours position, just take your right foot slightly out to the side and step your left leg back. Reach your left arm up to the sky. So side plank with your right knee down, then lift the left leg off the floor, toes point. So stretch that left leg back. That's option 1, to stay there. Option 2, bend your back knee and maybe reach back with the left hand. See if you can find the ankle. If you can find it, then you're going to try and fill that bow shape. So you're going to try and push the chest forwards, stretch the knee away from you, really open the chest. Here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release back to the extension. So point the left toes away, reach the left arm up. Now think about this. Look to the top of the mat where your left foot would go if you were in a low lunge. And without letting it touch the floor until it gets to the top of the mat, step your left foot forwards, rise all the way up. Reach the arms to the sky, big breath. And exhale. Both hands come down inside of the left foot, tuck the back toes, and straighten the back leg. So that back leg is long. See if you can walk your left toes a little bit further forwards. So there's just a bit more challenge through the hips. So just wriggle them forwards. Maybe your hands walk forwards a little bit as well. Just slightly more extension through the hips. And then rest your back knee down. Walk your hands closer to you so they take some of the weight. Point your back toes, and you're just going to stay here. Or depending how you feel, you wriggle that front foot forwards a little bit more as well. I never really encourage us to push into this kind of splits or Hanuman stretch, but you asked for hamstrings, so here you go. You're just holding it there. Use your hands. So you've always got you can always trust that you have your body weight in your hands. If you're practicing this on your own, what is quite nice to do, I can't reach for one at the moment, is to use blocks. So you could block beneath your leg and then you get used to sitting in that flexibility. Okay, slowly rise to your fingertips so you're a little bit higher, and then it's easier to bring that left leg back and both knees are together. Tuck the toes, lift back into downward facing dog, close the eyes. And whilst the eyes are closed, just acknowledge or notice the difference down the backs of both legs, around the hips, into the front of the hips. Big breath in. Big breath out. Look towards the hands. Rest both knees down. And take your left foot just slightly out to the side. Take your right leg back and reach your right arm up to the sky. So option one, you just lift those right toes off the floor and you hold your balance there. So there's some work through the side of the waist and both hips. Option two, bend that top knee, reach for the foot, open through that front foot, and maybe try and push into more of a bow shape. So can you stretch the chest forwards, reach the knee down, and then go back to that balance. So stretch your right toes away. And then look to the top of the mat where you're going to carry that right foot towards, bring it all the way forwards, rest the right foot, and lift both arms up to the sky. Big breath in. And then big breath out, both hands down. Tuck your back toes, straighten that back leg. Really strong through the back thigh. So you're trying to pull that back thigh in towards the body. You're trying to pull up through that back thigh, protecting the back knee. Breathe here. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Then now you're going to try and wriggle those front toes away from you. One side might be considerably easier than the other side. So just slowly wriggle forwards. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go as far as your other foot did. And then we rest that back knee down. Point the back toes. And maybe you keep wriggling, or you just hold it there because you have the hands to hold the weight. And again, I can't reach them. My blocks are over there. But if you have blocks, it's quite nice to either use them under the hands or to place them under the thighs. And then by reaching up to the fingertips, so you're a bit higher on the arms, you can carefully, slowly bring that right knee back. And you're just going to point the toes back behind you and take a seat. Place the hands to the knees. Close the eyes, take a big breath in. Relax the shoulders, take a big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. And just feel the shoulders slide down the back. Space across the collarbones. And big breaths. Easy breaths. And then work your hands forwards. Tuck the toes, lift back into downward facing dog. And just have a wriggle around. So notice how that downward facing dog feels. Really pedal through the feet. Push down through the hands, lengthen through the arms. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Slowly walk your feet forwards. Now, we haven't done this for a while, I don't think, but it's a very good way to strengthen the backs of the legs. So you're in a forward fold here, pouring the body weight forwards. We're going to start balancing on the left leg. So take your first two fingers of your right hand and hook around your right big toe. Knees can bend to help you. Bring the left hand to the left hip. If you want to watch first, you can. You're pushing into the left foot and slowly seeing if you can pull that right knee all the way up with you. So there's a load of strength down the back of the left leg. And you rise up. So if you were waiting to see what I did, you can now go. You're holding on to that right foot and lifting the right foot up with you. Then when you get there, just try and stand as tall as you can. So try and lift through the chest. Maybe, but you don't have to. I'm just going to turn this way so you can see. We're all going to open that right knee out. And if you want to, you start to try and kick. If you're thinking about kicking, think about shooting away underneath the heel. So trying to lengthen out through underneath the heel. Or you've just got the knee bent. Either or, there's still a challenge through that hip. Now really slowly, with control, so there's strength down the back of the left leg, go down exactly the same way you came up. And when you get there, just rest your right foot, release the right fingers, roll up to standing. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up to the sky. And a big breath out, forward fold. So just hinge at the hips, take it back down. First two fingers of your left hand, hook around the left big toe. Right hand to the right hip. Now slowly bending the left knee, pushing into the right foot, rolling up to standing. And you rise all the way up. And then you try and stand tall. And open that left knee out to the side. Maybe kick the heel away. It took me an awful long time to get, so if you're thinking that is not happening, then don't worry. And slowly bring it back. And you're going down just the same way, just as controlled as you came up. It's really super slow. And then when you plant that foot down, I want you to bend both knees as deep as you can. So you are actually fully resting the belly on the thighs. Take your arms, so your forearms come down the back of your shins and look between your thighs, your knees, your shins. So you're looking to the back of the room, trying to pull yourself into this shape. So I think I've said it before, but like when you see Olympic divers and they tuck into this tiny little ball, that vision of really trying to close the upper body and the lower body together. And then release. If you can, sit down without using the hands all the way. Stretch the legs out. Give the legs a shake. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Bring your left knee in. So hold on to the foot and hold on to the knee and have a good rock around in that hip. So you can kind of draw circles. Just notice if as you do that, you start to lean back, try and sit tall. So try not to lean too far back. Try and keep a nice tall spine. Big breath. And then I'm going to spin so you can see me. Keep rocking that left leg. You're going to bring that left foot all the way to the outside. Hold on to the outside of the knee and just take yourself into a twist. So look over that left shoulder. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back to center and just see if you can take that left foot even further round now. So can you reach that left foot further round? Hold on to that foot, so almost anchor that foot down and lean the body forwards. Look to your knees and pull the toes back of your right foot. So I'm trying to push my right heel away. You can just see my toes trying to push my heel away. Fold it down. And then lift up and slowly release that left leg. Give both legs a shake. Bring your right knee in. So hold the foot, hold the knee, and just start to rock around. Maybe side to side, maybe drawing circles. See how it feels compared to the other side. We all have slight imbalances. And just acknowledge it. It doesn't matter. It's just normal. It's just nice to notice and appreciate which side of the body maybe is a bit tighter or a bit looser. And then take that foot all the way around. And first of all, it's just an easy twist. So the left hand comes across the knee and you look over your back shoulder, pulling that right shoulder back, opening the chest to the right side of the room. And hopefully that takes a stretch into the outside of the right hip. And then bring it back to center. If you can now wriggle that right foot further back, then you can do so. Take your left hand, push the right foot down and lean forwards. As you lean forwards, pull the left toes back to your face. So you're trying to stretch down the back of the left hamstring, through the back of the spine and around your right hip. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. Take both legs out, give them a shake. And then take the legs out wide into a big V shape and pull both toes back towards your face. You are really trying to pull the toes back and push the heels away. So much so, I'm just going to go back so you can see. So much so, I want you to bulk these thigh muscles and almost lift your heel off the floor. So instead of them resting flat, you're pulling so much the heel lifts. And if the heel lifts but you can't go forwards, that's great. Just stay there, really thinking about lifting the heels. If you can also lean a little forwards but keep the heels lifted, then do so. And whilst we're here, I'll just explain. You know when we do low lunge and I say to you, squeeze the glute so that you're active in the back of the hip to open the front of the hip? Hopefully that makes sense. Here, we're doing the opposite. So we're engaging the front of the thigh so that the back of the thigh stretches. So you always have these pairs of muscles and we're just trying to utilize that. Okay, now relax the legs because your thighs are probably cramping and just pour the body weight forwards. So now it's more passive. You're not forcing anything. You're just resting the body weight forwards. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay as low as you are walk both hands over to the right. So that should bring a bigger stretch into the left side of the lower back. If you're really comfortable there, then lift the left hand outside of the right foot. So you get even more stretch from the left hip through the left side body and the shoulder. And then stay low, bring it back, really nice and low. Walk it over to the left. And then now take that right hand maybe outside of the left foot, you don't have to. And then come back to center. Now stay exactly where you are, as low as you are, but just lift the fingers to the side of the head so the elbows are out to the side. Now, without the hands, can you just send the chest a little further forwards? And then lift all the way up. Without the hands, take the hands to the outside of the thighs, bend the knees, plant the feet to the floor, and with control, slowly roll down through the spine. Pull the waist in, take your time, slowly roll it down all the way to the ground. Bring both knees into the chest. Stretch both legs up to the sky. There can be a little bend, that's fine. Lift your hands off the floor and then lift your chest. So you're looking into the belly and you're trying to stretch your fingertips to the bottom of the mat. Take the right leg down and switch. You've got 20. So switch. Keep the waist pulling in, switch. 17. 16. Reach the fingertips away. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. Keep reaching with the fingers. Keep lifting with the chest. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Both knees into the chest. Lie the head, neck, shoulders back. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Place the arms down by the side. Bring the feet down. If you can, they might not be close enough. Walk your feet a little bit closer and you might be able to take your hands inside of your heels. So my fingertips are just inside of my heels. As I push up into my glute bridge, I want to see if I can push my hands out. So it's just a bit of a different sensation to open across the chest. When you're there, maybe wriggle the shoulders closer. If that doesn't, if your fingers don't reach, don't worry. If that's the case, just push your arms down by the side. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then everyone take their arms out to the side, rise up to the balls of your feet and roll down through the spine as carefully and as slowly as you can. Bring the knees into the chest, one hand on either knee. Take the knees out, reach through, grab your feet, lift your feet towards the sky. Happy baby. Close the eyes and just have a move around here. So you might go all the way over to one side, all the way to the other side. Have a good move around through the lower back, around the hips, bending the knees or straightening the legs. Keep moving around, keep wriggling for 3, 2, and then 1. Find a stillness. Place the feet down and stretch your right leg to the bottom corner of the mat, left leg to the bottom corner of the mat. Turn both palms so they face up. Drop your shoulders down. Take a big breath in and a big sigh out. Big breath in Big sigh out. And if you're comfortable to rest, then rest here. If you need to just move a little more, make sure you're in a position where you can really truly let the body weight go. You can allow a softness through the front of the body. You can allow a softness through the expression. You're not clenching in the jaw, not stressed around the eyes. And with the eyes closed, you just have this opportunity to scan the body, see how the body feels, to release anywhere that there is an element of hold or tension. And if you need to use the exhale to help you release that, then do so. So really just melting your body down into the yoga mat. The heat of your practice, just softening the back of the body. Bringing nice big breaths into the lungs. So using the breath to help you to nourish and to re-energize. So now you've done your practice, you've done all the physical bit, and your body feels tired, but you're going to bring in some big breaths to wake your body back up. And you feel that as you do that, the chest starts to rise and fall. And you feel that shift in your energy. Energy of those breaths travels all the way down to your fingers and your toes, and you feel this need or this want to wriggle and move the fingers and the toes. Purposeful wrist circles. So really do try and mobilize the wrists in the same way that I had you really be intentional with the circles you were drawing with the arms. So really do try and find space around the wrist joints as you're led there. And at the same time, point and flex the feet so you really feel the stretch in the Achilles and the stretch in the front of the feet. And then if you have the space around you, just be conscious of your surroundings. Reach your arms back overhead, interlace your fingers and stretch the palms of your hands out. Point your toes, make yourself a couple of inches longer. And then hug the knees into the chest. Pull everything in into the smallest, tightest little ball shape that you possibly can. Eyes are closed, and you're just going to rock up to the seats. So not rushing to open the eyes. Just finding your seats. Feeling anchored into the mat. So feeling this connection downwards, and at the same time, this lift upwards. Two opposing sensations, this grounding down and lifting up. And that leaves a stretch and space through the center of the body. So there's no compression through the lower back. There's no stress around the shoulders. Almost like this path of freedom between the base of the seat bone and the crown of the head. Bring your hands into prayer heart center and just bow your chin into your chest. Thank yourself for practice this evening, for coming to join us. Thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of the evening. I will see you, most of you, in Pilates tomorrow morning.